So in honor of the upcoming release of MP11 Masterpiece Starscream Part 2, I am going to review the MP07 Masterpiece Thundercracker, partially because it's the other one that I own besides Skywarp, and also because we didn't cover this one on Collectiondx already. And like any good fan, I'm going to make a lot of speculation about how the new figure is going to improve things from this one, and kind of make some comparisons and all that kind of stuff. So we're starting off with the toy on the good old stand, and I gotta say, I know in my original review I kind of said that the stand was a little boring because what does it do? It just puts the plane on this very standard kind of gate guard angle, like you ever see them mount an old airplane up on a stand in front of an airbase or something like that. But having handled Bandai's attempt at making a display stand for their Deluxe Shikoken VF25 toys, and seeing the one that comes with the renewal toys, I'm kind of appreciating this nice simple two-piece stand here. Works very well, and it's very easy to get the figure on and off the stand. One thing I don't appreciate is the fact that that front landing gear collapses so very easily, and it doesn't really roll that well either. Not that I really understand why you need to roll an airplane that well, but you know, I guess it's kind of fun to go like this. It's like, it does have a bunch of those useless little features that I guess were designed to appeal to airplane fanatics, and because I should point out that Thundercracker is in fact an F-15, probably a C-type because he does have the nice little fast packs right there. An airplane which is dear to my heart, as it starred in many video games such as F-15 Strike Eagle for NES, F-15 City War also for NES, and Super Strike Eagle for SNES, F-15 by Jane's Defense, and all of these are games that I've actually either owned or played at some point in my life, so I kind of know this airplane a little bit. Yeah, he's got the goofy, it's like, hey, it's a radar, whatever. And of course the air brake, which is kind of a nice feature that it just made me collapse that one landing gear there. It's supposed to be like about there, where the air brake is. Of course he does kind of have working flaps, which is actually part of the transformation. And I guess this is more like that F-15 active, where you have moving engine exhaust for some 3D thrust action. And of course the silly, hey look, there's some pointless engine detail in there. I have to wonder if they're going to get rid of that. I didn't see that on the picture of the prototype for the new toy. And of course, just to let you know, ain't nobody gets a free ride on Thundercracker. He's got tons and tons of those friggin' no-step details. Also, I do like his color because it's the exact same shade of the kind of color that's going to really piss off the OCD fans, because it's not quite the same color as the old toy. It's pretty far from the color that Thundercracker is in the cartoon as well. So, I think that's kind of funny. I have to wonder though, was the reason for them being different colors than say the American releases, like with Starscream and with Skywarp as well, is because they had to stop the dreaded reverse importation, or was an agreement to make them different colors like they're doing with the American version of Masterpiece Rodimus? It's like, it's kind of weird, you know. It's like, why did they pick this color for the Masterpiece? Because it confused people, because they thought at first that, hey, this is a line all about show accuracy, and here's a toy, the second new toy in the line, because the first two was just Optimus and White Optimus. And here's one that seems to be going more for capturing, say, the spirit of the original Diaclone F-15 toys, which, yeah, they weren't quite perfect F-15s, but, you know, I think they were trying to be, at least a little bit. They kind of had that similar feel, even though they were very much, you know, toys that took some liberties. Because really the big thing that made people upset was the fact that Kawamori really wanted to emphasize the side profile, and he added the fast packs, which make the arms a little bulkier in robot mode, and this part, we will get to this part. But I think really for something that, put this stuff away. For something that cost this much, or at least it did cost this much, and now it does cost a lot again, because for a while Thundercracker was pretty damn cheap. He was marked down even more than Skywarp was. But again, for a high-end collector's toy, I feel like, yeah, I think they could improve upon the side profile. Don't make it look like, you know, a G1 toy. I mean, we've come so far, and I always complained about side profiles with jet transformers, but come on, this looks nice. It looks great. There is some gappage here, and obviously right here. This is the one thing that iGear toy that I ended up selling, because they were going to take it back at iGear. Thanks, guys, for not replying to my emails. Is that there's actually this kind of hump here, because this thing doesn't want to go back in as far as it should. Overall, Thundercracker does have a bit more quality control issues. I found that, I think it's because this came after they made the Starscream and also the American release Starscream and also Skywarp, so the mold was a bit worn out by that time. Also, this skirt armor here is really super loose, but yeah. Overall, it still feels like a pretty solid toy. And I'm not going to show you the stupid sidewinders that don't look right, or Dr. Argyville. Instead, I've decided to use, for the pilot, the 5th most popular male character in Macross. He looks pretty good sitting in there. You know, very nice. It's in there pretty good. And of course, I do love the little tampo decaling with Thundercracker's motto, which totally does not inform you anything about his character. But hey, it looks nice in the tech spec. So, transforming it, and I swear this is really easy to do. But it just seems... actually, before I transform it, I just want to remember, because I have an elaborate skit to go with this. So I remember I said in my first review that this is actually, in fact, a 1/60th scale F-15. So do you know what that means? It's time for a scale party! Woo! And you know, I wanted to have like a little noisemaker, so I bought these friggin' SpongeBob things. You know, you blow on it and the little thing comes out. These don't make the noise. They don't. It's like the whole package, none of them make the noise. It's like, what's the point of having these things? It's like, yeah, the little thing comes out, but it's like, come on, you just ruined my joke, and I wasted like $3.50 on these things. Okay, so this is something I think is really cool. I saw actually a piece of fan art that did this as well. So have you ever wondered how big typical mobile suit, it's like a big strike Gundam because he's the easiest one to get off the shelf, is compared to, you know, giant robot? Well, here you go. That's about it. So I think that's really cool, because you got the real life airplane and you got the fake giant robot. Don't try to put this pilot inside there, because they're always very undersized on these Gundam kits, unfortunately. But yeah, that looks really cool. Okay, now transformation. Here we go. Yeah, I did notice that on the new MP11 they are going to have those little things that keep the guns attached to the arm, like right here, like a little ball jointed thingamajig there. So yeah, it's like, yeah, maybe if I don't talk about this I can do it very, very quickly. I mean, again, this is a toy that's been reviewed a lot, so I'm not really going to show you a whole lot new revelations all about it. But you know, it's fun. I like this transformation. I think it's very much an evolution of how the old Diaclone toy was trying to do things, you know. And I'm not sure how much of that was Kawamori's input that sort of refined it, at least compared to the original prototype, which the new MP11 is attempting to resemble. But, you know, we'll see how it happens when that toy comes out. Oh, and there is those little, like these little flip-up tabs, like right in here, that you can kind of, let's see, you know what, they're too tough to actually get up, and you know what, you don't need them, because, look, the wing stays down. The wing always stays down. Okay. And I just want you to pay attention to where all the bits go, because I'm going to talk about that as we get into the later parts of the review. Yeah, see, isn't it really cool like that you can actually have little Osamu Dyson be in there and actually sits in the cockpit in the right position? That's kind of cool. I like that. Yeah. And here we go. Just bring all this crap down. Make sure it stays aligned. Bring all the crap down. And you know, as far as I can tell, they're not really going to change much of the transformation for the new MP11, so you still get to do all this fun stuff with the new toy. And just pop these out. And here we go. Yeah, actually, one thing I do hope they maybe improve is that little tab that goes into the bottom of the cockpit in there. It's a little dark, sorry. It sort of keeps the whole robot together at the waist. But then it sort of doesn't, because it's finicky as hell. Actually, his is not actually wanting to go in. That sucks. Ooh well, I don't need it. I didn't actually figure that thing out. They're supposed to do that until like later on with I was messing around with like Skywarp or something. Okay. And so we are going to get into some of the meat of the discussion here. After, you know, a couple of minor housekeeping details when it comes down to these guys. Okay. Okay, so here we are. And look, it didn't take me a half hour to make him stand up this time. So yeah, here is a masterpiece. Thundercracker. I think he looks really cool. I do like the way that this whole sculpt came out, and I totally forgot about the goofy crotch flap. This is very important. This thing is like, the whole toy lives and dies by this friggin' crotch flap. Alright, and yeah, again, quality control issues, which means I cannot pop this back in while I'm on camera. Okay. There we go. And once again, make him stand up. So here we are. Again, masterpiece, Thundercracker. Doesn't quite look like his the old toy or the Generation 1 toy, but still, it looks like Thundercracker. Like, this is Thundercracker. And, you know, I do like the solid feel of the toy. You know, he's got a good number of joints. He's got the double jointed elbows, you know, the fully posable shoulders, some swivels, and the bicep, you know. The hands, which are kind of okay. You know, it's got the typical Gundam style, you know, one pinky finger, the index finger is out, and then the other fingers are fused together. Which, you know, can make a fist. Looks alright, nice and blocky. Now, of course, we get to the problem that a lot of people will howl about on the internet. These things. The hip things. Why is it hip things? Well, that Kawamori, he likes hip things. He really does. And also, it helps you balance this guy if you decide to flip the wings all the way back like this. And he's like, oh no, he's going to fall down. But hey, look, watch. Now it is perfectly balanced using these stabilizers. I don't know, a bit like binders from Gundam. Actually, the binder would be up here, but yeah, whatever. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting, and this illustrates the point I want to get to with the what I like to call the JetCon or JetIcon style transformer. I've been seeking a good name for these guys, and I've come down to those two. It's like JetCon sounds like, you know, a convention for Learjet owners, and JetIcon sounds more like, you know, Senticon, Combaticon, Constructicon. So that feels like it fits, you know, it feels really good as far as giving these guys a good name. But the thing with these is that you notice that even discounting like these hip thingies here, most of the airplane is above the waist. Because think about it, you have the entire nose section is folded up in here. You've got the whole front part of the airplane is now his arms, and little part here for his abdomen, his torso right there. And then you've got the F-15's characteristically giant wings stuck on his back there. So it's like, yeah, no matter what you're gonna do, these guys are a bit top heavy. I mean, it doesn't affect some of the smaller toys so much, but you know, that's the cruelty of the inverse square law. Now I'm gonna do something that may offend the disciples of perfect transformation. Now these people are very powerful, and they make even the CAD wizards quiver in fear with their demands. So yeah, I'm just gonna pop those things off. I mean, they're on ball joints. What do you think you're supposed to do with them? Alright, so now that I've basically removed the most offensive things in all of creation, we can see that now he looks a lot more like he does in the cartoon, because he doesn't have those things on his legs or his hips there. Because thanks to our buddy Florodary, he decided to erase the whole detailing of the tail fins from their legs from the original Shohei Kohara design. But that's kind of an interesting thing about Transformers, is that everything is so far removed from the original Diaclone designs because of how it went from the Shohei design, or the designs by Shohei Kohara, and then you have the Florodary designs, and then you have people trying to make toys based on those designs. It's like it goes in and out in between, you know, how this is supposed to look and how it should look, or how you feel like it should look. But still, you know, gotta say, he looks pretty sharp, you know, without those things on his legs, and he balances a little bit better. You can actually attempt to make him balance with his legs, you know. Still slightly pigeon-toed, but, you know, it doesn't work. Doesn't look too bad. Again, this is the big problem, is that even if you do give him what I've seen, the new MP11, he has like heel struts that come out. But the thing is, though, is that it's all up here. It's all on the kind of the knees and in the hip joints. So it's like, you know, you can put like a huge giant thing in his back to make him stand up better, but you know, it's still gonna push him over because of, again, big old wings, and most of the plane is up here. It's right here. Maybe if he was more hollow, I don't know. And I was thinking, it's like, well, where would they put die-cast if they wanted to have some like in the legs here? Because it's like, yeah, maybe you could try to make the whole lower leg die-cast, but still, that thing is, it's all nice vertical shin right here. It wouldn't really help the weight too much. It's like, yeah, maybe you could put it in the feet, but again, I don't think that would really do much. So, however, once you get them hip thingies off, I've found that, yeah, you can actually get a couple of decent poses out of them. And I know I'm not the first person who tried to do this, but you know, I don't think many internet reviewers were doing this. So yeah, you can try to get the classic Decepticon jet like standing and firing pose. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. you know. I do have to wonder, like, what's up with the hips on the new MP11, because they didn't look like they had the full moving skirt armor there. Although this armor isn't really that good anyway. It's jointed in the wrong place, really. Yeah, and of course he still does have his manly firing breast missiles. Now mine does have the problem where the slanted part is supposed to be on the outside, but they were assembled wrong. It's like, you could probably pop the pin out and put them back in the right way. But actually on this side, the pins needs to be covered in some plastic, which doesn't really give me any confidence with how well this thing was built. Okay, so I'm going to go through just one little neat detail I found as I bring in his companion. The Sassy Skywarp. You can see he's being very sassy right now. And let's see if I can't pull this up to their heads a little bit. So I'm trying to frame both of them close together as possible. Okay. And try to get... I'm doing the Ashman's technique for making your autofocus work. So if you look at their faces, their default faces, not those horrifying alternate faces, these are slightly different. It's kind of weird. This one has like the nose is a little different. Let's see if we can get that head. Here we go. The lips are a bit more fuller on this one. Oh, this one's a bit more flat. It's got a bit more of a, you know, this goofy anime face there with this little :3 look. If you go by your emoticons, you know, it looks kind of funny that they actually decided to make two different faces, or at least three actually, because Starscream has his own too. For the toy that's supposed to have, you know, kind of the same look as in general, but you know, again, a little detail of something that a lot of Japanese toys designers would do to kind of differentiate these guys between each other, because they are, again, mostly the same. But yeah, cool little detail. Let's not talk about their goofy faces. Well, let's talk about Thundercrackers, because this thing is kind of interesting, a little interesting. Because all you do is you just take the thing on the bottom and you pull it out, and then you flip it around and then push it back in. Try to get it aligned. And it's like, oh boy. He doesn't really have teeth in there. He sort of has... Do you remember in like the old Transformers comics, like the first couple issues? They didn't know what to put inside them for their mouths, so they just gave him like a speaker thing or some random mechanical detail. It's kind of weird that they actually went back to like the earliest comics, like before, you know, Andrew Wildman joined the cast. You know, making his goofy robots with spit teeth and, you know, blood and guts and all that. I think that actually was Derek Yagner or whatever his name is, the Robo-Gore. But yeah, it's weird. It's like, hey, he's got a McDonald's speaker in there. What's up with that? It's got Thundercracker is angry, or he's or maybe he just has like one of those things you get at the dentist that, you know, keeps your mouth open while they do shit. Yeah, kind of weird. So yeah, this has been my little review of the masterpiece Thundercracker, and before we go, let's end with another scale party. Woo, woo. So yeah, barring any weird size changing that, you know, Transformers is known for. So here's about the size of your average Decepticon versus a Gundam. This will help your fanfics out a little bit. So yeah, again, I really do. Actually, let me blow on this thing. Let me just show you what noise it does make. So here it is. How's a kid supposed to have fun with that? God damn it. So yeah, another review for Collectiondx.com. Always check out our reviews because we say funny things, and clearly the best reviewer on the entire website is, of course, Josh B. I love you, Josh.